Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 12001, Chapter. Linghan strode through the corridors of the majestic heaven sect with the calm assurance of one who had weathered countless storms, his mind like a placid lake concealing the surging currents beneath. Rumors had swirled like autumn leaves, painting him as a villain who slew fellow disciples and seized their treasures. Yet he paid them no heed. In his heart, he trusted that those capable enough to tread the lofty paths of the sect would see through the webs of deceit spun by envy and malice. In the end, truth was a blade that cut sharper than any rumor, and Linghan intended to let it fall in its own time. As planned, he journeyed to the Mo clan establishment, a place of commerce and prestige. There, he offered a multitude of his meticulously crafted alchemical pills, each glowing with latent vitality, ready to heal, invigorate, or enhance cultivation. Among them lay an ancient pill recipe, long thought lost to the world, now revived through Linghan's painstaking studies. The scrolls themselves radiated an aura of antiquity and authority, promising untold profit to those with the means to acquire them. And then the 4 drops of Thousand Source true fluid, liquid essence of incomprehensible rarity, rested in his grasp. Linghan's eyes flickered with amusement as he considered Gao Huang, imagining the chagrin that would mark his rival's features. "Do you crave these, Gao Huang? Very well, they shall not be yours. Nay, I will see your pride falter." The liquid, while potent, held no sway over Linghan's own cultivation. Its power could accelerate comprehension, yet under the eternal embrace of the reincarnation tree, time itself could nurture mastery. 1 day or 2 could be fleeting, but years of immersion could surpass all the artifices of even the most rarefied elixirs. The tree's effects were boundless, infinite in their benefit. Selling the true fluid would augment his wealth and allow him to forge the divine demon sword ever closer to its ultimate form, transmuting his ambition into gleaming metal. Han Huo, the shrewd merchant, blinked in astonishment at Linghan's offerings. A broad smile crept across his face as he began discussing terms and arrangements. An auction was the most fitting stage for such treasures. The fluid, the ancient recipes, the alchemical pills. All would shine brighter under the eyes of eager buyers, each item enhancing the value of the others. Han Huo's mind danced through calculations and possibilities, his experience in commerce making him a formidable strategist, far more meticulous than Linghan in such matters. Linghan nodded silently, leaving the merchant to orchestrate the exchange, and returned to his palace, his thoughts already turning to the star-plucking step and the refinement of new pill recipes. Upon his return, a scene both amusing and aggravating greeted him. The old ginseng, now in its humanoid guise, wove between Li Weiwei and Ji Yun'er, fingers massaging shoulders, while mischievous roots probed collars and seams, as if seeking the most delicate of treasures. Linghan's lips curved in exasperated amusement. This perverted ginseng, still as shameless as ever, though only as large as a child's arm, what can you hope to achieve? Yet even in his irritation, he could not suppress a grin. Fate had a way of rewarding the unwary. Li Weiwei sprang to her feet with a scowl, one of the ginseng's roots snapping beneath the force of her motion. Unseen by her, the root had been a gift stored in reserve by Linghan, rich in life force and nourishment. Her unknowing acquisition would bolster her cultivation. A subtle boon masked in the guise of indignation. Linghan's smile deepened, appreciating the irony and the hidden benefit. "Hey, I didn't believe Sister Shui would deceive," Li Weiwei explained, her tone smug as she revealed how she had probed the Ninth King, unraveling secrets through persistence. Hu Feiyun, a partial reflection of Empress Luanxing, could not contain all knowledge, leaving gaps for observant minds to exploit. Traits inherited and separated from the Empress's essence manifested in peculiar ways, innocence and naivety amplified, wisdom curtailed, yet all forming the being. Hu Feiyun now was. Li Weiwei's attention swiftly shifted. "Blockhead, what will you do? Everyone says you murdered disciples and seized their treasures." Linghan's grin only widened. "I will face whatever is thrown at me. There is nothing I cannot manage." His confidence was a steel blade, comforting to allies and disconcerting to those who doubted him. Li Weiwei's sharp eyes softened. The audacity and certainty of Linghan's words inspired reassurance. Feng Poyun, Ding Ping, and others visited in turn, but Linghan's calm deflected all worries. He would handle his path alone. Days passed in a flurry of visitors. Xiao Sisi, Xiaowuk, Su Jing, and more, each extending offers of allegiance, aid, or alliance. Ling Han declined them all, steadfast in his pursuit of true freedom. Cultivation was his chosen journey, a road leading to unbounded power, unshackled by politics or obligation. He needed no patrons. His ambition was the only compass he required. Yet shadows gathered as news spread. The sect whispered of trials, of judgments pending regarding his alleged transgressions. Gao Huang, ever scheming, was now taking tangible steps. Under the veil of night, a Sun Moon tier elite arrived at Ling Han's palace, the aura around him scorching the air with silent authority. "I am Zhou Tong," the man declared, a presence honed through forming two suns and moons, his gaze, sharp and arrogant, cut through the darkness as he continued. "By command of young master, surrender the 4 drops of thousand-source true fluid, or be forever branded a traitor of the sect, pinned to a post of eternal disgrace." Ling Han's lips curled into a mocking smile. "You could have chosen dignity, yet you embraced the servitude of a dog. How fitting." Zhou Tong's eyes flared, divine flames bursting from his form in righteous fury. Ling Han waved a hand casually, as if brushing aside the heat of the inferno. "Do not rage at me. You have merely cultivated longer by a few 100,000 years. Shall we wager? In 10 years, I will possess the strength to crush you." The claim was audacious, bordering on heresy, a mountain river tier threatening a sun moon tier elite. Yet the fire in Zhou Tong's pupils dimmed slightly, doubt mingling with disbelief. Ling Han's eyes gleamed, unshaken, for he knew the path ahead was not empty. The Berserk Blood Spirit Pill, the Red Rain Divine King Tree, all resources in his Black Tower would elevate him beyond measure once Sun Moon tier was reached. Progress, inexorable and immense, awaited. "Return to Gao Huang," Ling Han commanded with calm authority. "If he desires my true fluid, let him gather sufficient true origin stones and attend the auction in 3 months' time. The opportunity will be his, should he prove worthy." His words were both a taunt and an advertisement, a masterful blend of strategy and foresight. In that moment, Ling Han's resolve shone brighter than any rumor, any threat. The path of freedom, power, and mastery lay fully before him, unbroken and unyielding. A tense wind swept through the majestic heaven sect that evening, carrying whispers of challenge and ambition alike. Zhou Tong departed, his wrath like a storm held barely in check, bearing Ling Han's measured answer. Once a proud Sun Moon tier elite, he had been threatened so openly by a mountain river tier, and such a humiliation chafed against his dignity. Yet, who had asked him to present himself so boldly, offering his pride upon a silver tray? To report the incident to the sect would only sow further disadvantage, for Ling Han was no ordinary seed. He was a tempest waiting to awaken, a cultivator whose potential could not be dismissed. Far beyond personal vendettas, news erupted across the galaxy. The Mo clan would soon auction the legendary thousand-source true fluid. The announcement, amplified by the full might of the clan, spread like wildfire, igniting awe and desire among countless cultivators. Even the heavenly body tier elites, usually impervious to mortal intrigue, found themselves drawn to this celestial temptation. For the fluid, born from an eternal river tier elite, contained not only the essence of heaven and earth at its zenith, but also the rare potential to elevate a cultivator's strength. It could propel a lower heavenly body tier cultivator toward the medium extreme, or a medium one toward the high extreme. Such ascension meant more than power and power. It promised a lifespan extended by 10 million years, a span vast enough to seize new fated opportunities, to climb yet higher in the sacred hierarchy of cultivation. The excitement was universal. Sun Moon tiers and heavenly body tiers alike began charting their courses toward Flying Cloud Planet, their ambitions swelling as the auction drew near. The Mo clan had even called upon renowned alchemists, those whose very presence could command fortunes, ready to outbid with sums that would astonish any onlooker. Ling Han, however, remained undisturbed. He had entrusted the entirety of the auction's orchestration to Han Huo. On the day of reckoning, he would simply deliver the precious fluid and accompanying treasures, safeguarding them until the moment of true danger and opportunity converged. Yet whispers of movement reached even Ling Han's ears. The Gao faction's machinations were swelling, their ambitions clear. They intended to subdue him before the auction, For once the treasures graced the stage, their vast wealth alone might not guarantee dominance. But the majestic heaven sect was not theirs to command. On this fateful night, an unexpected visitor arrived, escorted by the ever-graceful Fan Ru. The woman who stepped forward radiated elegance and calculated allure, her figure draped in enchantment that might have caused lesser hearts to falter. "I am Ji Yunji," she announced, her voice a melodious cadence that seemed to linger in the air like incense. Linghan acknowledged her casually, unaffected by the carefully honed seduction that rippled through her every gesture. Even Fan Ru, observing from the side, dared not meet the visitor's gaze, fearing the magnetic pull of her charm. Ji Yunji, confident in the potency of her allure, found herself unshaken. She had cultivated not only her beauty, but also her very aura, designed to captivate and subdue the unwary. Yet Linghan's eyes betrayed no desire, no distraction, his indifference an impenetrable shield. Gathering herself, she spoke with measured grace, revealing her purpose. Sent by Hua Yangwen, she sought to secure a drop of the thousand-source true fluid for the Hua faction. Linghan's casual "oh" was all the acknowledgement she received, yet it was enough for her to know he understood the weight behind her mission. The Hua faction, founded by Hua Yongning, sought to purchase a drop at the price of the lowest successful bid among 3 being auctioned. A fair arrangement, Ji Yunji assured, designed not to shortchange Linghan. Her eyes, bright with intent, conveyed the calculated dance of diplomacy and seduction. Linghan's calm acceptance offering a drop without hesitation only deepened her curiosity. She had expected desire, fluster, or embarrassment, but found none. Linghan considered the undercurrents of rivalry. The lower ranks vied amongst themselves, while the upper echelons of power, the Gao faction and Hua faction alike, maneuvered with their own cunning. Each sought the eternal river tier inheritance. Each dreamt of dominion over the galaxy. The inheritance, a treasure beyond imagination, had already begun to shape alliances and enmities. Yet the venerable trinity remained silent, perhaps even plotting to introduce a 10th disciple, signaling dissatisfaction with his 9 current pupils. The struggle was fierce, the outcome uncertain. Linghan, ever serene, played his hand with care, retaining a drop for Hua faction while keeping the rest secure. Ji Yunji, sensing the absolute composure of Linghan, could only offer her thanks once more, her curtsy a dance of refined beauty, her form a vision meant to enthrall. Yet Linghan's countenance remained tranquil, immune to even the most seductive arts. Even the mischievous old ginseng, materializing to comment on the scene with lascivious delight, found himself repelled by Linghan's sheer resolve, dismissed with a sharp kick and a reminder that some perversions were simply incurable. In this night of quiet schemes and veiled desires, the stage was set. Ambitions intertwined, rivalries simmered, and the heavenly body tiers of the galaxy stirred, drawn inexorably toward the coming spectacle. And at the center of this unfolding drama, Linghan remained a calm eye amidst the storm, poised to shape fate with unwavering hands, his every decision a ripple across the turbulent waters of destiny.